Hello. So we're going to be finishing off some pens from this week. We've got the acrylic ones in there because they don't need cutting down. Because the barrel's in there, I've got the cap in my hand. Then we are going to do these ones. Now, with the ones that I originally did with this colour scheme, I had to use another blank because the other ones just had too many imperfections I didn't want to have to deal with. So we're just going to use that one. We're still using the section that we made because there's nothing wrong with that. Let's just get this started. So we need this down to the diameter so that we can thread it. And start off there. So that's how far I generally tend to go when it comes to turning the tenons. That's right. Oh, I meant to bloody tidy that up. There we go. A bit better. So there's the tenon, and I forgot to zero it because I'm an idiot. Because zeroing it would have made the others a lot quicker. Where did my nib go? So I always keep a selection of demo nibs. I've got some for doing photos with, and I've got some for making the pens with. They get damaged and bits happen to them, so I tend not to worry about them. It's just tool usage basically. So let's have a look. So I want to keep some of this swirling in the top, but I really want to get some of this. So it's going to have to be another cut out in the middle. So if we cut it there, that means we're getting some of that swirling there. That gives us enough room there because we're going to have a flat top on these. So that is going to be the that's how much material we're going to have above the nib. And then we've got, if we cut that there, then we can measure roughly how far that goes down, because that's going to be the top of the barrel. Is that going to be far enough? Probably not, but we'll cut. That'll be the end of the cap. So if we want to get this, well, if we want to cut there, so we want that to be the end of the pen. So again, that's going to be the amount of material between the end of the section, sorry, the end of the converter and the end of the pen. So we going to want to cut there. So we want to cut that bit out, so that then that, so we're going to the top of that there, and we're going to the top of that there. So once we cut all that, we can start threading and drilling. We haven't done most of the turning. I'm speaking out my bum. So the funny thing is, I normally swear like a trooper when I'm doing this. So I'm having to curb my language. Right, so we're having, the cap is going to be that bit. There's our first cap. You should be able to fit. Yeah, so as long as the section with the threads and the nib fit in this material, I know there's going to be enough for drilling out. So again, we're going to cut this off here. The pattern, no chance it's going to match up exactly. Just we've cut a chunk out of the middle. So we know there's going to be a decent amount of material left after this, so we can cut this directly on the line. See, that's the cross section of that white bit. Not very interesting. Whereas this one, at least there's something there. So that is going to be like that, with that, like that. So that's going to go to about there. So we should have enough material to do everything we need to do with that one. Where's the... This one, obviously, we're just going to cut down after we've drilled, because we've got plenty of material here. If it cracks, we've got more material to play with, so we can just chop it down a bit further. So what do we want to keep on this one? What we're going to do is we want to keep this end bit here, because that's where the really interesting stuff is. We're going to shave off from about there. So if we have this barrel bit, I want to keep this swirl here, which is on the inside. So we want to be drilling down to about there, because that will protect this bit, because that will be what we need. And we just put a V there to show where we want the cutting side. And then for the cap, I wouldn't mind getting this bit here and this bit here on the cap. So what we can do is we can position it so that the end of the section is below this line here, and we can say, right, okay, so we'll put that there, we'll cut it there, and then we can cut off the top if we need to. So we're going to have 2 cuts there and there, and we're going to shave off a bit at the end. So start by shaving off this little bit at the end. All we're doing is just taking off the bit we previously drilled into. Change tools, zoom again. There we go. So again, rather than just having that big clump of white at the bottom, we've got a white swirl with almost a heart shape of the pink in there, and a little bit of the see-through peach colour there. So with these pens with the flat edges on the end, they're quite basic shapes, so the blank or material needs to sing. Because that's where all of the interest comes. So when you have a really complicated blank, that's when you do something like this, because the material adds much more. So that's going to sit like that. That one might need polishing on the inside. Something I don't particularly want to do, but if it makes it look better, helps it sell, that's what's going to happen. So we are going to leave that end bit on, and we're going to cut that off after we've drilled as part of shaping, because that's the only shaping that's really done. Right, so that's 2 down to size. What we're going to do with this one, because this one's got the domed ends. See if there's any imperfections in the blank first. Slight one there. That'll come out with sanding. So I think what we'll do, kind of like that bit there. So we'll have this as the end of the cap, and then we'll go down, because that might get rid of that bit there. So they wanted a long pen, so we can basically cut it there to the cap. So that's going to sit like that, which will balance out the rest of the pen. And then I just need to do some measuring. So if we go there, we just need to cut off that end bit. It's right, isn't it? Yeah, about there. It's going to be a monster of a pen, but it's what the client wants. And we'll cut that down and we'll shape it once we've done the drilling so we can get a better view of it. Okay, so that's those bits done. So we've got the two barrels there. We've got the barrel here. Let's pop them there. So you can see the length difference between the three of them. And just to show you this, put them that way, might be better. So that's going to sit like that. So we'll start by we'll do it with a pen that's this thick. I'm tempted to do a wider thread rather than my normal one. So you've got 14 and 15 mil threads. How big is this? This is 17.02, so we can get a 15 thread in there. Yeah, let's go for the 15. 15 mil thread. But will that make that look too small? No, we go with the 14. Go with the 14 because that's only slightly bigger than the other one. It would even it out a bit more. So those ones. So we'll thread this one last because then it's fewer tool chambers. I will sort this one out straight away. So our tenon is going to be 1 mil bigger than the previous tenon because we normally do 13 mil threads. This is 14 mil thread. So that's going to be So yeah, your step's going to be from the threads to the cap's going to be there, or barrel even, is that. That won't be too bad. Where did I put that section? There it is. And then your section, it's going to have a step. So that's not going to be too bad at all. So I'll just right, so this camera has paused. So why has it paused? Right. Well, no, is that the bottom or is that the top? That's the question. That's that way. I've lost count the amount of times. I forget which way round it goes. trying to get these done quickly so that I can get on to sanding and polishing. So I would like to spend Friday with my daughters after the day job. It would be nice. Just changing over the die holder. So the bigger dies, or the bigger thread sizes need bigger dies, obviously. Seeing the bigger die holder. Lost me Allen key again. Lose my head if it wasn't screwed on. How was that one? I put it somewhere where I thought I would see it. Typical. So my random hand waves and finger twitches to make sure the camera's still working. Because I don't trust it. Stupid bleeding thing. Right, so this is a single start thread. Which means the position that you put the cap on will be the same every time. They look like very shallow threads. I have to check those. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to check them with until we make the cap. Right, what we're going to do first is drill out these. That's me drilling out. do the acrylic first, because that's probably going to be a pain in the backside. I wonder if I should write a translation document for the slang I use instead of the swear words. Probably will have to if I start breaking out the properly rhyming slang. A wobble on the drill bit there. Not great. It's a bit hot as well. Pushed through that quite quickly. That's that one done. Do this one next, got quite thick. You're wondering what the phone notifications like that one. I'm speaking to a client on Instagram about getting their pen to them. Which does an alarm, the toggle, and that bloody thing stopped. It looks like. Can you see that? Probably not. It looked like that blue and red one. It was like letting a bit of light through. Need to wait for that to cool down a little bit. That's fine. So the heat management, that's the key. So there you go, that's finished about there. So we managed to keep those swirls of white and purple through the peach, which is what we wanted to keep. It's looking like I will be polishing this one on the inside because it will just look far better. Unless those are... Looks like there's chips in the material on the inside. Don't need that drill bit anymore. Swap it out for the boring bar. Now, what I could do is I could use the longer boring bar and just turn it out a bit wider from there down to get rid of those chips a bit before I start internal polishing. That might be worth it anyway, or that bit. Yeah, well, might be worth doing. I've not done that before. Fun. Probably cock it up, know me. Just trying to think how I would do it. So I need to measure how far that's going in, because I won't be able to see it once it's in there. So I'd have to go use one of the longer ones so it can get down to the end and have something coming off of here measuring against that. So I have my measuring device coming out here like that. Measuring device on here, measuring against there, so that this can go in as far as it needs to go before I start turning that in. Bang. It is what they're there for, so I might as well give it a go. So I need to start from about there. So I'd only have to go, only need a throw of the measuring device to be about that. So that's done that one, done that one. I was still thinking about boring that one out a little bit. Is it worth the risk? So I've not done it before. But if I manage it, then it basically opens up a little bit of how I can make the internal pencil a bit better. What about if we hold this thing out here, then we can see how far it's gone in. For example, yeah, let's give it a go. Why not, eh? So yeah, okay, so we need, so I need to mark something. There's a bit of movement in there. Where's that movement coming from? What's this whole thing moving? Okay. So how do we stop that? Aha. That one did it. Right, so start her up. We've done something. So one thing is that when that goes in, gotten rid of most of the chips on the inside. Awesome. So yeah, that one we'll polish on the inside. Now what we'll do is we'll change it out. Do the barrel threads. I've got 1, 2, 3 barrel threads, 4 barrel threads to do, and then we're almost done. Start with the big one like usual. Got marks on it. A bit of lube. Might as well lube these up while I'm at it. A little help. I'll drink a coffee in a minute, I think. This is the one where we're going to have to go in slow by hand because I know that this is brittle. Acrylics tend to be brittle, especially when you're forcing big chunks of metal through them. So if I hear a crack, I'll go, oh no, oops daisy. I won't swear. Won't swear. Remember, swearing is bad. Need an alarm for that stupid bleeding thing. Right. We can go through with a smaller one because it's only cutting away a little bit of material. So I tend to thread a little bit deeper than the threads on the sections so that this tapered bit is nowhere near where the section wants to thread into. There we go. Now, because it's all slippery, can't get the little lighter off. So we'll go through it. We'll go a bit deeper with the threads on that. I think that may sort that problem out. And I've dropped things again. It started to cut, and that's ooh, that's starting to get on my nerves. That is. So definitely cut a bit more material out there. See if these threads are a bit better. Yeah, once they're clean and they should be okay. What I'll do is I'll run that. Another thing you could do is just run the dye through the threads again, hopefully without dropping everything. Yeah, it's better. I was going to have coffee, wasn't I? That's fine. I think this one might need to be polished on the insides as well. Well, I don't know. It depends. I'll have a look. I'll see what it looks like when it's polished on the outside. It might just look quite good misty. Coffee. Lovely cold coffee. Almost made a boo-boo. So, any proper machinists out there that are watching this now, in the present or in the future, I've never claimed to be a machinist. I know that there is some stuff that I do that machinists would never do. I'm just a pen maker. Right, so I need to remember this one is a different thread. This is going to be the dodgy one. When I said about the threads possibly making it crack. Right, so let's get the painful one over and done with. My wife has just entered the room with raspberries.
Fresh from the garden.
The bloody camera's paused again. So the walls on this one are going to be thin. So yeah, those walls are thin. If it works, that'll look good. Right, and now we need to change the drill bit for this one because it's a different thread. So take this one out. There we go. So as you can see, that's drilled out to about there. So we've got room to cut off some bits on the top there. But do we want to? Because that pen's massive. So the cap should really be a similar sort of size to it. So we'll finish off doing these ones. Get everything threaded up, and then what we'll do is we'll cut down the long ones, shape the customer one. Once that's all, actually I managed to keep those bits. Good. Once that's done, we'll go on to, well, what time is it now? We've got 3 o'clock, so I'll probably finish around 4:30, 5ish. So we might not get everything sanded. Be a bit similar to last week. That came very close to the tip. What was I saying? Yeah, I might have to finish off the sanding on Friday or at the weekend. So it's boring bar again. We'll switch back over to the short one. We'll just use this one. This one's sharper, so it shouldn't be too bad. You can find that. There it is. So I'm only going in a little bit with that, just to give a little bit of a little recess for the end of the threads to fit into. I hope this one doesn't break. Again, I hope none of them break, to be fair. If it breaks, it's a load of work out down the drain. I probably won't be able to fix it. This time we'll start by threading this one, and then we'll thread the others. So they're triples, aren't they? This thread's all right. Yeah, they're fine. It's a relief. Right, so now this one. I'm not looking forward to this. I'm expecting this to just crack. So I'm going to need my ears for this. So put the headphones down. That end feels as thin as paper. Okay, how's that for a pen? that'll sell. Right, so that needs cutting down. That needs cutting down. That one's fine. So we've got a complete. Oh no, not been threaded. Donkey. This thread's very stiff. What we'll do is we'll compress that a little bit. Let's cut those threads a little deeper, and then we'll run the dye around this a bit more. If I can find it, that is. Did I put it back in the pot? Might just be dirt in the threads, but yeah, there's the pen. Just got to shape the section, then we're done on those. Then we can get on with sanding and polishing. This one next. Do we want to cut that down? We'll do the cutting down last. And what we'll do is we'll compress this straight away. Dirty threads kind of thing. So yeah, it's a little bit too big on the cap side of things. So we're probably going to have to cut that down to about there. Pop that up there to be cut down. Pop that up there to be cut down. That needs shaping, that needs shaping. That needs shaping. That needs shaping, that needs cutting down. Right, so we'll just cut these down first because they're going to be the easy ones. And then we'll cut and shape the customer one. And then we shall shape the sections. As I said yesterday, I think that we're going to be doing a different shape that we've been doing all week. So we're doing what I call Norse sections, which are the ones which pinch in the middle. So this time we're going to be doing Greek sections, which are the ones that pinch near the nib. So that'll work for cap for another pen. I'm very reluctant to waste materials, so anything that can be used again, I use it. Actually, I can pop for that sort of stuff over here. Make some sort of Franken pen. Right, so we've got that there, and we've got the toss of that bit there, I don't like to keep. So just worry. Cut there, and that'll be fine. I tend to keep all of my offcuts just in case I find a use for them, which I normally do. Oh yes, there we go. As I was talking about, trying to get the white to line up down the pen. Can't get much better than that, really. It's the size difference between the two. One's slightly bigger. So there's the caps lined up, so you've got a little bit more in the cap, a little bit more in the barrel. Point to the wrong parts there, but you know what I mean. Again, another bit I can use. That'll be used for section. So if I wanted to make another pen, all I'd need to do is buy a blank for the barrel. So there's that one. The acrylic comes up super shiny, so that's going to be quite a nice looking pen when it's done. So this one we're going to keep we're going to keep the length on this one, so all we're going to do is curve that. This one we're probably going to cut off about there, and we're just going to shape the end bit, try and get rid of some of these marks. Long old pen. Right, so we are in the realms of being able to get some sanding done today. So we've got an hour left, and all I've got to do is shape some sections. shape some sections, shape the ends of this barrel and cap, and then get some sanding done. Now I want to try and get rid of some of these marks. So the marks start about there. So what we'll do is we'll put a little bit of tape on. Won't be much. I need to get rid of a little bit of material. And just make it look good for sanding later.
Oh, Christ, dry.
This is that one. So like I said, monster pen. Alright, let's get some of these sections shaped. So I switch over to the smaller files now, because it's relatively delicate work on these. I'm still going to be hacking away at them. There you go. That is a Greek section. How does that feel on the hand? It's a bit back heavy. But you're going to get that with a pen that big. That's what the client wanted. You'll see how different it is shaping acrylic with files in a minute. once I get into the swing of doing them, they're not that difficult to make. They're just, I'm used to doing the Norse ones because I find them a lot easier. No, I won't do that yet. I've still got one more to do. What I'll do is I'll start the sanding today. Just finish off tomorrow. I'm not going to get it all done today. So what happened here is it got a little bit too hot and the acrylic has blistered, so I'm trying to sand that bit off without losing the shape. But sod's law, right in the bit that's awkward to get to. What I'll try is I'll just run it up. See how that did. Still got a blistered bit. So this is one of the problems with working with acrylics. If you cock up on your heat management, it takes ages to fix. There we go. Finally. Alright, so that is things ready for sanding. We are getting somewhere. It's just so I can see the teeth on the jaws, because when it's in, this is only secured by the one tooth, it tends to be off at an angle. So as long as the back end of it is against another tooth, then that'll be straight. So files and brush away, calipers away, clear down the bench a bit, brush the crud away. Splash guard of sorts. Sandpaper. The liquid. I might put a bit more paper underneath that pot to capture any spillage. So, what are we sanding? We are sanding all of that. That's this week's work. So I'm going to get another pot. We've got two there. Don't need the pen anymore. And we can just put them in there, ready to go. So we'll start with this one. I know that there's going to be a mark, there's going to be spirals on the end, so what we'll start by doing is just getting rid of those. So quite a coarse sandpaper. Effectively just cross sanding it straight away. There we go. Any ridges that need getting rid of? There's a couple. Still see some on the end there. And they're still there, but they're a lot less than they were. Right, so start with the coarsest. So we've done the very coarse one, which is just getting rid of any anomalous bumps and lumps. And so where that we had that wiggle in that drill bit, that's why this is now wiggling. So yeah, as I was saying, the very coarse one, just getting rid of the errant lumps and bumps. Stuff that shouldn't be there, it sometimes is. So for example, if you've got a very glittery pen or material, some of the glitter chunks may get flicked out, the white surface ones, which will leave an indent. Or if there's a pocket of unmixed powder, that'll come out and that leaves a dent, which is what happened on some of the other blanks that we had earlier in the week. That sort of stuff, you can get around it, but to be honest, I don't want to faff about with that at the moment. So we've still got a couple of scratches going round. We've got some imperfections in the material up that end, which hopefully will sand out by the time we get to the really fine stuff. I'm hoping it will sand out on this next round, to be fair. If not, it's back to the beginning. So I'm not going to press as hard with the sandpaper on this one, because I know that most of the big scratches are gone. So this is just getting rid of the scratches left behind in the last bit of sandpaper. And if there was a bit of scorching or whatever down this end, we'll get rid of it now. Lots of fluid. And just the end bit. So this is going to introduce more swirl pattern. But when we stop it and we do the cross sand, that's when we'll get rid of the swirling on the end and the swirling around the barrel. Yeah, so that those imperfections in the material up this end have gone. We've still got a scratch coming around here, which hopefully we'll get rid of on the next round. The scratches that were here have gone. And there's no swirling on the end at the moment. So we'll concentrate some of the sanding down here. Most of the material needs to get rid of. So I felt heat start to build up there. Introduce more fluid. Give it a rest for a little bit. Come back, sand the barrel. Frost sand. Yeah, so that scratch has gone from the bottom there now. So last one, this is the sort of cursory sand on the last thread, on the last grip. Right, so I'm just going to quickly polish this to make sure that we've got rid of all the marks on the end, because then you'll see how shiny the acrylics go. So there we go. Yeah, it's reflecting into the camera so much. The camera's auto adjusted the light, the brightness. So I'm pretty much just going to pick the pens at random now. Start sanding them off. So when I've got people watching live, this is where I answer most of the questions that come up. But as I'm pretty much talking to myself right now, it doesn't really matter. I could talk utter nonsense and no one could complain. So this blank is from Turnt. Quite a nice one, really. I like this blank. I've actually got a customer order coming up which uses one of his. It's probably going to be the first customer that I offer the service of watching live their making of their pen. Or semi-live anyway, because of the camera stoppages and the slight delay. So it's just gone 4 o'clock, so we've got just under an hour. So we'll probably get the barrels sanded, and that's pretty much it. If we get any more than that done, I'll be surprised. What I normally do is do the barrels and do the caps and do the sections, because the sections are the ones that most scratches will be on. And they don't take very long to sand because they're tiny, but they'll need most correcting. I'll probably end up having to sand half of them twice. Especially the Greek sections, they're a nightmare. This is also the part of the pen making where I decide properly whether I'm going to sand the inside of pens or not. Because if it starts to look really nice now with see-through bits and whatnot, then I've made the decision to sand the inside. Looks alright. This is one of my favourite blanks that I do myself, that I've managed to make so multiple times, and they've all come out pretty similar. If I did go into selling blanks, this would be one of the ones that I would make on a regular, but that's not something that I'm interested in. There's too many people selling blanks as it is. So this design, most of the scratches will be sort of near the end where the taper goes from steady to steep. think this is going to end up being my longest stream. Coming up to 2 hours and 20 minutes. Should probably advertise this thing more. Might actually get people to talk to them. Yeah, I think I'll stop at either 5 or when I finish the barrels. Whichever comes first. Oh, bottom. Well, I think I can see some scratches. There's one going right the way around there. So we'll go back a step to this one, and we'll just extra cross sand around the barrel. Kind of hard to talk when you're sanding like this. I know it can't be very interesting just watching my hand go backwards and forwards like that. For the liquid to dry, because then that will show up any scratches. Looks like we're good. There's the monster. If you get that reference, bonus points. So we'll start off with the very coarse one because there's still some ridges. So I refer to this sanding in general as giving a pen a Tommy Tank. If you don't know what that is, look it up. I'll give you a clue. It's Cockney rhyming slang, which my dad taught me when I was little. So this pen is going to be matte. So I've got to make sure that all of the scratches are out, because it's not going over to the polisher. So once we've done the normal sanding, I'll put it aside, and what we'll do is, once all the others are polished, I shall then go at this one with the Micromesh, which is basically sandpaper but very, very high grit. I think it goes up to 20,000 odd. So the brief on this blank was just a red and a blue. So what I've done is I've mixed red and blue. So there's a translucent blue, which I've put red glitter in. There's a red mica powder and a blue mica powder in there as well. So you've got the depth and the sparkle. So we've still got some scratches around there, quite big ones. Yeah, so what I have to do is I'll go around this. I might do this one off camera, because this one's going to be a pain.
Concentrate on the tip for a bit. Stroke down the shaft. Make sure to get all those scratches out. See, nothing about that I said was rude. It's just your dirty minds. Clean off all this cream. And we've still got loads of scratches. Right, I'm going to do this one off camera. So we'll be able to see when we get to about the third step whether I'm going to polish it on the inside or not. To be honest though, it's looking likely. Again, concentrate on the tip, get those scratches out. But I didn't use the rough sandpaper to get rid of the swirled ones, so I might have to go back and do that. It might be worth it.
I'll have to clean all that swarf off the inside to see whether there are any deep scratches in there.
So if anyone actually has made it this far through the video, whether it's on YouTube or whatever, thank you very much. Just drop us a comment or whatever and tell me what you think of the top-down view and the lighting. Whether it needs adjusting, whether we just need more light, just to maybe another one coming in from this direction, maybe one coming in from here. I don't imagine many people get it this far, to be fair. It's what, 2 hours 38. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 barrels to go. 25 minutes to do it in.
better speed up. But then I've got 3 or 4 which have got facets on the end, so they're not going to be very quick. So I think it's going to be a case of we'll time up more time out before we get the pens done. Yeah, that's being polished on the inside, or sanded on the inside at least, because that's going to come out really nice. A little visual of what we got left to do. Whack them under there. We'll do them in that order, because I want to see what those blanks look like. Can you see them there? You can't really see them there. So we'll whack on that side instead. You can see them there. See? Check me out. Thinking about what you can see on the camera.
Now, it's very hard to describe this blank. Out of all of them, this one sort of feels dusty on the outside. It's a bit rough. So it's strange. Also, I need to sand the ends with the rough sandpaper because there's a dimple.
Okay, that'll do.
So at some point I'm going to run out of things to talk about pens on these, so I need to think of other things I can talk about whilst I stand here and make pens, I suppose. Got music going on here. I suppose I could sing, but none of you want that. I think I mentioned that yesterday. Give you a lesson in Cockney rhyming slang. How to get away with swearing on Twitch.
And of course there's Tommy Tank, which I said earlier, which you can probably guess. You've got Apples and Pears, which is Stairs. That's the one that everyone knows. I'd have to look up some, to be fair, because I don't know them off the top of my head. Used to. So there's a couple of things that I'm not going to be talking about on this channel. Politics and religion, definitely not. They can go do one.
I try to avoid showing any injuries that happen, because they do happen every now and then. And there's a big ass spinny thing here. I cracked my knuckles on them earlier and it hurts. Of course, when we've got more followers, well, not followers, but viewers, then I'll start changing things up a bit, doing some blank making, maintenance on the lathe, how to adjust the lathe.
What to do when your lathe goes wrong? I'm going to try and not repeat myself. It's going to happen eventually, I suppose. I mean, being on Twitch, I could talk about computer games. That's the obvious one, really. Films, maybe. I'm watching Sopranos at the moment for the first time. That's quite good. YouTube videos that I watch. Other creators that I follow. I'm thinking of setting up a Patreon alongside the Twitch stuff to help with getting new equipment to make the stream better. But at the moment I've got the webcam, which is okay, it's a decent webcam. But as you see, the camera keeps cutting out, and I think that might be something to do with the router. So a new router might be on the cards. Unfortunately, being in the butt end of Wales, the internet isn't exactly fantastic. So I think that's going to be the major sticking point. "15 minutes left." Just want to get that next blue one done with the pink bit on the end, because I want to show you what that pink bit turns out like. Because if it turns out what I think it's going to turn out, it's going to be very pretty. Yeah, that's not going to be polished on the inside. That's going to be left. Oh yeah, this has got a bit of a ridge on the end. I need to get rid of. Just there. There you go.
I suppose could also upgrade tools and things if things take off with this. If it does, it'd be kind of cool. Not gonna lie. When I only started the Twitch, because I figured it doesn't hurt me to just stream stuff. It's not like it's slowing me down. In fact, if anything, it's sped me up a little bit. Because it's given my brain something else to concentrate on other than the pen making, which is one thing I always struggle with.
Just my brain doesn't like doing one thing at a time. It's annoying like that. Right. You can start to see what's going to happen. Where it was still misty from the tools, the files and whatnot, once we get rid of the scratches and the areas are smooth, they'll become more and more transparent, translucent. And it's almost worth just sanding that little bit in there. These bits at the end are a real pain to get. No scratches, it's got a little bit of scorching at the end. There's scratches on there still, scratches on there still. We'll get rid of them. I think this is going to be, yeah, we've got 10 minutes, so this is probably going to be the last one that we do.
Simply because of the facets on the end. Just take a little bit longer than usual. Which again is why we end up charging more for them. More work involved, more we charge.
So concentrate a bit more on these end bits, because we have already identified that they've got scratches on from the last round. And this is why I need the light, because I can identify the scratches from different angles, because sometimes they don't show up unless you angle the light a little bit. What we'll do is we shall run this through all the way up to the top grit, and I'll quickly polish it like I did with the previous one, and then we'll decide whether it needs to go back through the sanding grits or whether it's good. Coming up to 3 hours. So it's still got the scratches at the end there. So I don't think the polish is going to get rid of those scratches, but we'll give it a go. I mean, it's usual for this design to have to go through 2 lots of sanding anyway, so I'm not particularly bothered. It's kind of expected by now. This model and the Zeus model, which we made the other day, they usually go through 2, sometimes 3 loads. Right, so I will be back in a sec, because I'm just going to quickly polish this. It won't take long. Right, so there you go. So it looks like a gem. I really like that. It's ones like that I want to keep for myself. There's a few scratches on that side, a few on that side, a few on that side, and have we got the end? The end's fine. Any on the barrel? No, barrel's good. It's just the ends. Cool. That can go up there. Put that. No, just leave it there. Okay, so that's everything done for today. I'll be back tomorrow, probably around 12:30ish, depending on whether I have lunch or not. Yeah. So there you go. Anyone that is watching on YouTube, thank you. Anyone that made it this far, thank you. Take care.